This lesson is the second lesson on coordinates. So the learning objective is to know how to find the midpoint of a line segment. So before you start, can you make sure you've got some papers, a pen, okay, and you're in a nice quiet place ready to learn. Your success criteria is we're going to look at understanding how to complete a shape, and we're also going to look at the midpoint, finding the midpoint of a line segment. Okay, so before we start, do your 6 starter questions. Okay, so do these retrieval questions now. Give yourself 10 minutes. Pause the video while you do them. If you haven't paused the video yet, pause it now. Otherwise, keep it playing to get the answers. So the answers are up here. Make sure you mark your work. Give yourself a score out of 6. At the end of the lesson, you'll be emailing that to your teacher, your scores. If there's any issues with any of these answers and you don't know why you got them wrong, I suggest you email your teacher and ask for some help. Okay, so the coordinates of 3 vertices of a square are shown. What are the coordinates of the 4th vertex, right? So a vertex and vertices, that's a corner. So like a triangle, these are the vertices. A square, these are the vertices. So it's the corners. Right, you need to know the properties of a square. So remember, a square has 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. Okay. So look at the length of this. So you can either count the squares or you could use your knowledge of negative numbers. 4 take away -2 is 6. So that is 6. And 3 take away -3 is also 6. Well, you're told it's a square, so you'd expect it to be 6. Okay, you could either count 6 down or you could use the same. So 3, so this is at 3. So 3 take away 6 because it's going down is -3. So the corner, the 4th corner of the square is at -2, -3. So remember, coordinates is always inside brackets and separate it with a comma. X first, Y second. Okay, so back 2 and down 3. Okay, so you have a go at this one. Pause the video. You can either spot the corner visually or you can use some maths to work it out. If you haven't paused the video now, pause it now. Okay, I'm going to give the answer, and the answer is 3 - 2, because that makes a square. I don't have a ruler here. Okay. In this example, the coordinates of 2 vertices, so we know what a vertex and vertices are, but do we know what an isosceles triangle is? So isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides and 2 equal angles. So we're going to treat this as if it's lying on its side, and this is one of the sides. Okay, and if you think about it, if I do a perpendicular from here to here, I get half of the base, so it's 2. If I do another 2, then I get an isosceles triangle. So that coordinate is -3, 0. Okay, now it can also go up the other way. Alright, so I'm just going to clear this for a minute. Right, and I can do my right angle down here. Again, 2 and 2. Okay, so that makes that side, because we did a right angle, so as we know how much to split it in half. So that is 5, 6. Sometimes people have seen where people get confused because the graph ends at 5 and they don't know what to do. Well, if your thing goes past where it ends, you just add it in. Okay, you just add the extra number in. So that's 5, 6. So you've got two choices there. Okay, you have a go at this one. Pause the video now and try it for yourself. Okay, so you've got 2 answers. You've got 4, 4. Okay. And you've also got, so you could also have went down the way, and it would have been -3, -4. Okay, so your isosceles triangle either looks like this, where this is the base, so you have to sort of use your imagination and tip it up. These are the 2 equal sides, because if I do a line down the middle, perpendicular line, I've got 3 that way and 3 that way. Okay, so I'll clear that. If I do this line down the middle, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, I get that. So that was -3, -5. Okay, right. Next, I do the coordinates of 2 vertices of a rectangle with area 12. So you need to know properties of a rectangle. You need to know area. Area equals length times width. Okay, so using your maths, use negative numbers or just count the squares. This is 4. Okay, 1 take away -3 equals 4. This is 4. So it has to be 12. What do I have to multiply 4 by to get 12? Well, I have to multiply it by 3. Now it can either go this way. So the x-axis is at 1. 1 add 3 is 4. So your 2 points are here and here. So that's 4, 1 and 4 -3. Or if you want to go this way, again it has to be 3. So your 2 points could be there, and that would also make a rectangle. Now you could join it up and count the squares, but you can multiply the sides. 4 times 3 is 12. So it's -2, 1 and -2, -3. Okay, the next one, it tells you that the area is 16. I'm going to pause the video and then I'll give you the answer. Okay, if you haven't paused the video now, pause it now, otherwise keep it playing. So, -3 to 1, that's 4. So, if the width is 4, this has to be 4. So it's either going to be there and there. So that's -3, 5 and 1, 5. or it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 here and here, which is -3 -3 and 1 -3. Okay, so there's two possibilities for that question. Okay, moving on to midpoints. Right, we're going to find the midpoint of, so if I drew a line from A, which is at 2, 2, and B, which is 8, 4, it's quite difficult to do it without some visual help. So I've got this little graph here, okay? Okay, look at the x-axis first. Remember, x, comma, y. So we're looking for the midpoint between 2 and 8. Okay, so there's 2 and there's 8. Okay, so what's 2 plus 8? It's 10. What's half of 10? It's 5. So the midpoint, which I'm going to call M, is 5 something. Then we looked at 2 and 4. So what's 2 plus 4? It's 6. What's half of 6? It's 3. So the midpoint is 5, 3. If you think about it, what's halfway between there? Right, it's 6. What's halfway between here and here? And it's 3. Sorry, that was 5. My apologies. 5, and halfway between here and here is 3. So the midpoint is 5, 3. So there's a little equation that you can use. Okay, you can say we can call this x1 plus x2, or you could call it xa, xb, right? X divided by 2. So basically what it's saying, 2 plus 8 divided by 2, and then for the y, 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So that gives you 5, 3. So you add them up, add the A point to the B point for x, and then half it. Add the A point to the B point for the y, and then they half it. And if you draw it on a diagram, hopefully you can see it. Okay, right, so you have a go at the we do. So it's similar to the first one. Pause the video now, try it. Okay, if you haven't paused the video yet, pause it now, otherwise I'm going to just do the answer. Right, so 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 divided by 2. I'm just doing it like this because half and something is the same as dividing by 2. So M equals, so the first x is 5. So then we do these two. 2 add 6 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So the answer is 5, 4. And that's how you find the midpoint. Okay. Okay, this one here is slightly different because it's got a negative number in it. Okay, I've done a little diagram to visualize it. Okay, so using the formula, I'm just going to write the formula again. x1, so that this is x1, y1, x2, y2, or a and b, maybe if it's easier actually. A, B, A, B. So XA plus XB over 2. Right? So 0, remember this is a negative number, so when you add a negative number, you're actually taking it away. So 0 add minus 2 is minus 2. Half of minus 2 is minus 1. So the midpoint is minus 1 for the x, and you can see that. Half of minus 2 is minus 1. Now for the y. So ya plus yb over 2. If that looks too complicated for you, just remember first one plus second one divided by 2. So 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So 5.5 or 5.5. And if you look, 2, 4, 5, there's 6. So it's halfway between 5 and 6, so it's half. So the answer is minus 1, 5.5. Okay, you have a go now at the we do. Pause the video, and then after you've paused it, I will show you the answer. Okay, I'm going to show the answer now. So 0 minus 2 is minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 1 is minus 1. So the x value is minus 1. 3 add 6 is 9. y1 plus y2. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So that's 4.5 minus 1, 4.5. Okay. Right, next one. A is minus 3, 3. B is minus 2, 6. So remember my little formula. First one, add second one. Minus 3, add minus 2. So that's the same as minus 3, minus 2. Okay, so that's minus 5. Half of minus 5 is minus 2.5. So I'm putting this in the middle because it's the midpoint. So minus 2.5. Now we'll do the y. So that's x, that's y, that's x, and that's y. 3 add 6 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So x, y, minus 2.5. So, and 4.5. Okay, so that's like there. Okay, minus 2.5 and 4.5. Okay, you pause the video now and do the we do. Okay, 3 seconds, and then I'm gonna do the answer. 3, 2, 1. So for the x, minus 3 add minus 2 is minus 5. Minus 5 divided by 2 is minus 2.5. Okay, 3 add 5 is 8. That's an easy one because there's no negatives and no decimals. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So minus 2.5, 4. Okay, and you think about it, what's halfway between 2 and 3? It's 2.5. What's halfway between 3 and 5? It's 4. Okay, bigger numbers. there's a little graph. So this is 6, 5 and 10, 0. So the x, 6 add 10, 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Right? 5 add nothing. So for the y's, now you might think, oh, what they do, you just do the same thing. 5 add 0 is 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. And there's 8, 2.5, okay. Okay, so if we just put this line in, so that's 3, you can see that that's 2.5. Okay, and that's 8. Okay, right, pause the video and try the redo. Okay, so for the x, 5 add 10 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So the x is 7.5. For the y, 5 add 0, 0 is 5, sorry. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So 7.5, 2.5. Okay. So give yourself about 10 minutes. Have a go at these questions. Pause the video while you do them. And then you can mark your work. Okay, if you haven't paused the video yet, pause it now. Otherwise you'll spoil it by the answers coming up. Okay, the answers. So, mark your work. Check that you've got them all correct. And just make sure, if there's anything you got wrong, just make sure you understand why you got them wrong. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Give yourself another 5 or 6 minutes and have a go at these ones. Okay. Make sure you understand how to do them. Okay, if you haven't paused the video yet, pause it now because I'm going to give the answers. Here are the answers. Some decimals in these answers, so just be careful with the decimals. There's no negatives though. Okay, there's some negatives in these ones, so give yourself a couple of minutes and try these ones with the negatives. So just remember that a plus and a negative is a negative, okay, when you're adding. Okay. Okay, if you haven't paused the video and you're not finished, pause it. Otherwise, here's the answers. Alright, if you don't understand any of these questions and you've got them wrong, you can go back or you can send your teacher an email. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. I'm just going to check your understanding. So your learning objective was to know how to find the midpoint of a line segment. So we've done completing the shape. So we understand how to complete a shape, and we understand how to find the midpoint of a line segment. So XA plus XB over 2. That looks complicated. It's just add the two coordinates and half them. Okay, you might wonder why it's called a line segment, not just a line. because mathematically a line goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. So a segment is just part of that line.
Right.
So a segment just means that it's part of a line. So you can just assume that we just mean a straight line.